What's up, everybody? I've been seeing ads for this thing left and right these days. This is the Xtra-PC. It's an operating system for your old PC on a USB flash drive. And what this does is, supposedly the company claims that you plug this in, it'll give new life to your PC, and it'll make everything run a lot faster. Well, in the tech world, generally when something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And anybody who's familiar with ISO Linux operating systems understands that this is nothing new, but I'm going to get into what benefit this actually does for your PC, what you can actually use this for, and why you shouldn't actually buy it, because I'm going to show you how to make your own. So as the people at Xtra-PC claim, you're going to take this little device and you're going to plug it into an old PC. I've got something on hand here. It's an HP DC 7800. It's running an old installation of Windows Vista. It's Windows Vista. It's bogged down. It's got a bunch of crapware on there that it would be about how a PC that's about 10 years old would run with its original operating system, and no maintenance has been done on that. I'm going to actually boot that up, and we're going to see the difference between how it runs with its stock operating system and how this is going to run on there, and let's see what kind of difference it actually makes. First, I'm going to blow the dust bunnies out of this thing because it looks like it hasn't been done for some time. After I do that, I'm going to meet you at my desk, and we're going to see how this thing runs. Alright, good old Windows Vista. What could possibly go wrong? So, it booted up okay. This is a 32-bit OS. So we're going to take a look at how it performs. Right away, we're seeing that we're running into issues with the browser being out of date, and Chrome doesn't support any doesn't support Vista anymore. So that's one problem with this that we would basically need to remedy, and that's one of the things that this USB stick operating system on a USB stick would give us the benefit over this operating system. So and we see right up here, this computer will no longer receive Google Chrome updates because Windows XP and Windows Vista, yeah, we can't even get to the site to look at it. Basically, it says attackers might be trying to steal your information, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to get away from using the Chrome browser. I'm going to actually install Opera instead. All right, here we are with Opera. Yes, let's make this the default browser. Let's go ahead and check out a couple of websites. Let's go to actual Xtra-PC, and let's take a look at their offerings. User account. Already I don't like how this is displaying. I wanted to go through their offerings and show you all of the different products that they offer, their price points for what you could get in the different Xtra-PC offerings, but this is not usable. Before we get out of here, let's go ahead and just check out performance with video playback. Invalid certificate. We're going to continue anyway. I don't care about this machine. Though I am a little concerned about having a machine like this on my network. This is basically the, you know, they say a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. This is the weak link on my network right now, so I really don't want to keep this on for very long. We're seeing that a lot of these thumbnails are not showing up. Let's take a look at the video playback here. And go. And go. And play. Okay, I've seen enough. I'm done with Windows Vista. I was done with it back in, what, 2006, 2007, whatever year it came out. It's always been a crap operating system. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to shut this machine down and I'm going to plug in our USB stick and see what we can get from this. Alright, I'm just plugging this straight into the front port of the Windows Vista machine here, the HP DC 7800, and I'm going to power the thing on now, and it should be reading the USB stick now. And as you can see, it's not a fast process to boot up, so that's one check against the system. Here we go, attempting to boot from USB device. Finally. And hey, we got a splash screen. Already though, I'm not liking that slow startup time. It should have, you know, if this thing is going to speed up the system, it should have booted up a lot faster than that. Now it's actually got to read the data on the USB stick. But for USB stick operating systems, this really isn't out of the norm. This is also USB 2.0. If it were a USB 3.0 system, it would boot a little faster. Alrighty, here we go. We are in. Welcome to Xtra-PC. In order to begin using all the great features of Xtra-PC, we need to set up a few additional applications. These applications require that you are connected to the internet. No problem. So that they can be downloaded and installed. You can either connect your wireless network or your wired network. To connect your wireless, blah, 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 blah. Continue. We're connected to the wired network. We're fine. Let's go. Let's do it. And let's do it. I clicked it. Come on. And go. Hey, something happened. So if you're not familiar with Linux at all, this really looks a lot like Lubuntu. We've got our indication that we are connected to the wired network right here. There are a few critical third-party software applications that need to be installed on in order for your Xtra-PC to deliver the best user experience to you. Well, absolutely we need those. Let's continue. Important application installers. I don't know what the applications are, but they are important, so we better install those. Do you accept? We accept. Something's happening. What's happening? Oh, it gave me a shortcut to Facebook. All right, it looks like everything is done there. Oh, hey, yeah, success. Installation complete. Okay, so let's at least take a look at browsing around the internet. I want to go to Xtra-PC's website and show you what is actually available for purchase through them. Come on. Okay, here we go. Jeez. Okay, people are amazed and raving about Xtra-PC. Well, you know who has two thumbs and is not raving about Xtra-PC? This guy. Your product saved me hundreds. I wish I thought of this myself. Okay, so here's what they've got for sale. We've got the $34.99 model, that's what I got. The $49.99 model. And the $79.99 model, I will bet that that $79.99 model is just way faster than this thing right here. That's that. Let's go, let's actually see how this thing handles video. 10 animals that saves people's lives. Why not? COVID-19, I haven't heard anything about that. Ooh, that's choppy and freezy. Yeah. Not, oh my god, give me some kind of response. Give me some tools here to change the playback settings. Okay, let's try a different video. This is so unusable. Okay, I think we've done enough. I think we've shown that this is really not going to be anybody's daily driver for an operating system. Yes. Yes, in process. Give me my mouse. Yes. Now I want to show you what you can actually use this for, where it will have some usefulness. What we want to do is go to File Manager. Over here we see we have 250 gigabyte volume. That is the hard drive that is installed in this machine that has Windows Vista on it. So the beauty of this is we can browse through that system right now. We can look at the, very slowly, look at the Windows drive. But more important than that, we can go into the users folder and we can go into my profile that I have set up here. I don't really have anything on this machine. I thought I had a lot more on here, but what we can actually do is we can use this to go through and say we've got an operating system that has crashed and for whatever reason we can't get the operating system to boot back up. Well, what we can do is we can use this USB stick to browse other operating systems and restore files that way. We can go in and we can get in there and retrieve pictures, videos, tax documents, PDFs, things like that that we don't want to lose, that maybe we didn't make a backup of. This is a way that we can get into that system and back that stuff up and potentially save the stuff that's on that disk. So these USB sticks are not without their uses, but this one in particular is kind of a turd of an operating system. And now I'm going to show you how to actually make something that's a little bit better. And I'm not going to recommend that you would ever use this for your day-to-day operating system in your PC. I'm suggesting that what you can do is you can use this to actually make something that you can use to restore dead operating systems like this, or restore your files, get in there and get your files back. So that's what this is all about. I'm going to shut this thing down and I'm going to get back into my main PC and we're going to show you how to do this. So there are a couple of ways that you can do this, and the way that I have most commonly gone about doing this is using UUI, the Universal USB Installer, and it's at pendrivelinux.com. Anybody who's familiar with Rufus will see that this is really a similar kind of software. I'm not going to say that one is any better than the other. This is the one that I've just always used. I also have another video that will teach you how to install multiple ISOs off of one drive, but that's a little bit more complex than what we're doing here. So for the purposes of this, I'm going to assume that you only need access to one Linux operating system. So that's what we're going to use this piece of software for. So we're going to go to download UUI. And when it's finished downloading, which it happens very quickly, we're going to open it. And we're going to select a distribution from our drop down here. And the thing is, we haven't downloaded anything yet to use. So we're going to set this to the side. We're going to go up here. And I personally am a fan of Lubuntu. The Linux ISO that you use doesn't really matter, whatever you are comfortable with. If you're a new user, one that I would really recommend is using Linux Mint. Mint is the sort of, it's got all the whistles and bells included. Okay, so we're going to go to lubuntu.net. We're going to download Lubuntu 64-bit AMD. Now, if you have a 32-bit processor, you're going to want to download the Lubuntu Intel 86. The reason that you want to use the 64-bit version if you have a 64-bit processor is because it opens up a lot more options. You can address more RAM in your system, things like that. That's a topic for a whole nother video, so basically we're not going to worry about that right now, but I'm going to just assume that you have a 64-bit operating system. That's what this computer that I'm working with has. It's going to take a while for this to download. Okay, so now that we've got our distribution downloaded, we can select it from the drop-down to put on our USB. We've got Lubuntu 19.10. So we're going to choose Lubuntu from the list. We're going to browse to the downloads location, and there it is. Select that ISO. And we're going to select the drive letter of our USB. My drive letter in particular is F. Now I want to make sure that I don't use this one, that it's going to overwrite everything on that if I choose the wrong one. And what we can do here, we can set a persistent file size for storing changes. This is optional. Now, if you wanted to make it so that this USB stick is your portable operating system, you would actually set a size here. I'm not going to do that, because this is a utility tool. It's not a permanent operating system. So I'm going to hit create. It's going to warn us that if you proceed, it's going to wipe out everything on that USB disk. So proceed with caution and make sure that you have the proper USB disk selected. Alright, so that'll take a few minutes, but once it's done, just hit close, eject your USB stick, and plug it into the machine that you want to use it on. Okay, now I'm booting into our new USB stick, and what we're going to see here is that this boots a lot faster into Lubuntu than it did. Yeah, it shows me already. It's booting a lot faster into Lubuntu than it did into the Xtra-PC disk. So I'm going to select Start Lubuntu. And already we are up and running with our operating system. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this. We can absolutely go through and check some things like the browsing capabilities if we wanted to, but the actual power of this setup right now is that there's an installer with this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the installer. And really the installer is a pretty simple process. Basically, we're going to follow the on-screen prompts. I am in the New York time zone, so that's what I'm going to select. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to hit next because it is an English keyboard. I'm going to actually erase the disk that Vista is installed on here, because I want to burn that operating system to the ground and get rid of it and make sure that it is never used again. I'm going to select Erase Disk. I'm going to hit Next. Now it's asking me to set up a username and host name for this system. We're going to go through that. Put in a password. I use all dots. And select Next. You can also choose whether or not you want to automatically log in without asking for a password. That's on you. I never do that. It's going to basically give us a summary of what's going to be erased, which is our Windows Vista operating system. And it's going to install, it says Ubuntu. Lubuntu is a derivative of Ubuntu. So that's why it says that. We're going to install now. And it's going to go through, and you can just sit back and enjoy this on cruise control from here on out. It's actually a really simple process, and when this is done, it's going to have that Windows Vista disk completely erased and this nice, fast Lubuntu operating system replacing that. Alright, so at this point the operating system has finished installing, and we can basically hit done. What that's going to do is it's going to restart the system, and Vista is completely 100% gone. So if you do this and you want to replace an old operating system, make sure that you back up any documents, pictures, video, anything like that that you have on your old operating system before you do this, because in the method that I use to install this, it will wipe that operating system out. I'm going to click done, After this screen has gone through its process, I'm going to remove the USB stick, because what's going to happen is if I don't do that, it's going to boot back into the USB stick again. We don't want that this time around. We want it to boot into the hard drive where this Lubuntu installation lives now. Alright, here we are into our fresh new installation of Lubuntu. Select your user and enter password, and now we've got a modern usable operating system on about a 12-year-old machine. Let's see how it works. As you remember earlier, we were having problems playing YouTube videos. Oh, here's our 10 animals that save people's lives. Let's check that out again. It appears to me that the video is playing a lot smoother. Let's just look at something else just to be safe. Alright, well this is passing my expectations. I don't know about you, but I think this is a far more usable operating system than Windows Vista or that Xtra-PC USB stick. I'm pretty happy with this installation, and this is not even on a solid-state hard drive. So we really didn't get any speed out of running an operating system off of a USB stick, and I'm not surprised by that. Most people who have tried this setup before, they understand that you're not going to get any real speed out of this. But in my next video, I'm going to show you what you can do, where you can spend that money that you would have spent on Xtra-PC to actually enhance an older PC, the best kind of optimized hardware that you can buy to really get a few more years out of that older PC. Look out for that video. I would ask you to like this video and subscribe, but I'm not your dad, so you do you. That's it for now, and I'll see you next time.